Okay, so I'm having a little problem with my Old Faithful here. I use this little riding lawnmower that's no longer a lawnmower as a little mini tractor to pull my sprayer around. The Craftsmen 21 horse Briggs & Stratton. It's always fired up really well. I drove it, used it for like 3 hours yesterday. Worked great, finished, parked it right here. And now this morning, you see when I go to turn it over, it doesn't want to turn. And so pulled the shroud off, got some cleaner on it, trying to make sense of this engine here, and I'm seeing that I'm no mechanic here, so bear with me, but this is going to the spark plug. So I'm going to check the spark plug. It's getting its ignition from what I think is this magnet system on the flywheel. The starter is supposed to turn this flywheel, and these are magnets that are on here, and when these magnets come in contact with here, it creates the spark. And what I'm noticing is that looks really close, like there's almost no gap. Looks like there's a gap on film, but when you come in here on this one, it looks like they're touching almost. So my plan here is to loosen these up a little bit, take some sandpaper around this, because it's probably not getting a connection anymore with all this rust. So I'll bring you guys back when I do that. I'm gonna clean up that magnet system and then see if that's what causes, and play with this distance, see if it's a little farther, is it clear up resistance, and let her spin. So bring you guys back after I mess with it. Shade Tree Mechanic here. See if I can pull through and get it done. Why hand sand those suckers when I can use my new beast of a die grinder? Here, look at this sucker. Should do, well, we'll see if I can fit it in here. I have to get it in there and rotate it down, but sand that all back. All right, so a couple spark plugs, broken ratchets, and a bunch of tools later, I got her running again. I cleaned off this magnet. In the process of changing the plug, I busted one. I completely cross-threaded the hole. So I ended up using a torque wrench to just blast that plug in there. And yeah, so the threads are totally cross-threaded. Tested the starter, that was okay. And now she fires right up. So, I don't know, I got a battery tender hooked up to her as well, and I'm not sure what it was, or whether this battery's bad, if it was the plug, or if it was the contact magnet terminal thing. So that's not much of a help video, but if you got one of these Craftsmen mowers, that's the order I'd go in, is clean the rust off the contact magnets, check the plug, make sure you're getting a spark, don't strip the hole. It's a real weird angle, that's why the angle of this bracket, I took this hood off and everything, so I had a good angle coming into that plug, but nope, ended up stripping the hole. So I just took the old Milwaukee, just blasted her in there, and that's how I busted this. I learned the impacts. Obviously you want to put a spark plug in by hand, but when she doesn't want to go in by hand, that's what you break out the muscle for. So anyway, it's running. Fires up. We'll see, maybe I'll put a new battery in it, but I got this mower for free. I don't want to put too much more money into this sucker. That's another $100 battery, and so I don't know. Still alive, but keep an eye on her.